welcome back to my channel. This is Nicole with Made from Scrap, and today I'm going to do my walkthrough of my design team project using the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Love Story collection. I've used some stickers. I do have a couple of sheets left, these 3 sheets left, and I intend to use them for another 4 sheets left, another project. But I did pair this with some of the burgundy Artisan Cardstock, white and black Artisan Cardstock, and I also used rub-ons. I have some of those remaining. I have 1 sheet left of those remaining, and then I have, let's see, I'm gonna put that together. I used enamel dots. I had a little bit of all of the collection. So I had glossy enamel dots, bits and pieces, ephemera pieces. I had the chipboard frames. This is the page pieces that I used. So a little bit of everything from this collection. And you can see I do have a few of the ephemera pieces left over here. Well, it's all mixed up actually at this point, but to use on some other project, but very little scraps by way of scraps. So aside from those 4 sheets. So this is a chipboard front and back cover, and it measures 10 inches wide by 12 inches tall, so it's a large size album. And then when I open it up here, I'll just run through it, but I've used file folders that I cut down and paired it up with the chipboard and the Artisan, like I said. So here's one of the signature sheets. I went ahead and did some fussy cutting around there, backed it on Artisan Cardstock, the white, and did additional fussy cutting around it. And I placed that on top of a couple of sheets of the paper collection so I could make, some pockets right here. I did some distressing just of the top edge of those with my scissor just to rough it up, make it a little bit shabby chic-ish. And then here's one of the cut aparts, and I layered it with an ephemera piece and just use a paper clip there. You can see some of the rub-ons throughout. These are some of the rub-ons that I've layered up. This is also an ephemera piece, and I've just layered it here with ephemera and put this up on a piece of chipboard. And then I've ripped the page here using a ruler as the edge, and again distressed the edge with a scissor, put a rub-on and ephemera piece here, but layered these as pockets. So I just have angled pockets basically. Okay, more ephemera, and then this is actually black My Colors cardstock that I used. Okay, make a large piece there. There's the enamel dots on the side. Okay, when you flip it over, we have some of the chipboard frames here. So I went ahead and put a piece of Artisan, and I have foam, double-sided foam on 3 sides here to make basically a pocket for a photo, but in the meantime I have Artisan Cardstock there with rub-on. So this will just be able to slide right in, and you can use that as your template for cutting down your photo. Same thing here as well. So we have one of those, and then we have some of the ephemera pieces layered up here that you can stick a photo underneath here and here. Here's some of the stickers. Okay, turn that over. You can see this is on one of the file folders. I went ahead and layered up some of the pieces of the decorative paper there for a belly band, and then I have some Artisan Cardstock there. This is just the cover sheet from the collection that I cut up and used it right from the front page. Okay, and then here's some of the cut aparts. So isn't that pretty? And this is one of the ephemera pieces. Okay, stickers here. Again, I'm distressing the edges, so you just have a couple of really pretty belly bands in here. Okay. place that in there and there. So you can stick quite a bit in there. Then we have here another paper clip that I used, and this is just one of the cut aparts that I put on some black cardstock. That is the My Colors cardstock there. And then I went ahead and made a tri-fold here, glued it on 3 sides of the back in order to make a pocket. So we have some additional cut aparts in there you can journal on or put photos on the back of those. And then I made another little booklet here, do some journaling in, but this is how I keep this tri-fold closed, because I did again a piece of the decorative paper at an angle, and I only glued it down on 2 sides so that it's actually a pocket. You can use it that way, or like I said, I put this behind and then behind the ephemera piece that's layered up, and that holds that closed. So when I pull this out, you can open this up, and we have some photo spots there and there, and these are just some of the strips of paper that were cut down from, what do you call these? The branding strips. So those are the branding strips all laid out right there. Okay. It's going to stay closed just like that. Flip this over. We have a layout here, double layout. I think it's super pretty with the spots for the photos, or you can use it again for journaling. And I layered up this little piece here. I cut into the cut apart there just so that we could tuck something up there and it would be quite cute. Here's another sticker piece, and then of course I didn't do all the gluing here, but just layered up a couple of ephemera pieces here as well. Some more chipboard frames, and same thing as the case where this comes out. I used a small stapler in order to staple some of the ephemera pieces on. And again, this is the same thing. The foam double-sided tape is on 3 sides, so you can slip that in and there and here. And again, with the stapler, just use that as a pull tag. That was one of the ephemera pieces there. So are these. This is a sheet of Artisan Cardstock that I laid down, and then the decorative paper I went ahead and just folded back for interest because it's double-sided. So I think that that's fun. And then you can flip this over. And what I like about this ring binder is you can always put larger rings if you want to expand this, or put additional sheets in, you know, if you wanted to expand it. So I had some strips that I had already cut down from some of the other sheets, so I wanted to make a layout and decided to do this. I do want to go ahead and put some white paint here dripping from the paintbrush, so I still need to do that. But I used a couple of the branding strips here, stapled them on some of the white cardstock that I went ahead and made some photo mats for, or those can be used as templates for cutting down my photos there as well. Okay. Same thing here. This is a little pull tab, so you can pull that right out like so. Okay. Layered up some of the ephemera pieces here and here. Alright, and here's another layout on this side. We have a rub-on down here in the corner, ephemera pieces on a little piece of chipboard. This is just one of the ephemera pieces that I only glued in the middle, and then this is one of the cut-aparts. And then I went ahead and created a pocket down here and used one of the 4x6 cut-aparts, one of the ephemera pieces here. This is just a strip of some paper piecing and black and white Artisan Cardstock, and then I went ahead and put some additional photo mats in here into this pocket and layered it up with some of the extra pieces. So there, lots of room for photo. And this last one is just a couple of triangular pieces. Then I went ahead and just glued on 2 sides and layered them up so that I could have some fun interest. And there's another one of the stickers for you. Okay. So another photo mat. And this just helps hold this down, which is a fold out, so you can take this, it's a trifold fold out, so a couple of additional photos can be placed there, and then on the back side here as well, where you can see that little trifold, just for some interest. And that is the album. This is the back side. I have one little sticker here, and of course I have used my Crocodile and Circle Punch to go ahead and make these whole reinforcers. So I think it's super cute, and I love the way it turned out. Okay, let's get started with the tutorial. This is for the ring bound file folder album. And here I have just a manila file folder, and so I used 3 of them in my album, but what I did is I just took my cutter and I wanted to just cut off the edge of my file folder, just barely. So I'm going to put it in my cutter here, and I'm just going to barely cut that off like that, just so that these are now in 2 pieces. Okay, so those are my pages. So I used 3 file folders, which made 6 pages for me, and I thought that was good in addition to the actual album covers. Okay, let's get started with the album covers. So you're going to need 2 chipboard pieces that measure 10 inches wide by 12 inches tall. And then to cover it, because we're using the entire height of our cardstock, of our chipboard, we're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock that each measure 12 inches wide by 7 inches tall for each of the album covers. Okay, so cut 4 pieces in total that measure 12 by 7. And then cut 2 pieces of chipboard that measure 10 by 12. Then we're going to pull out our little handy dandy spacer, corner spacer that I got from Country Craft Creations, and we're going to go ahead and put score tape, or you can put glue all over your chipboard piece. These score tape sheets make it a lot easier in order to make our albums. Then we're going to put 2 of our sheets together like so. We're just going to abut them like this, and you can either use your score pal or your scoreboard in order to make sure that these are square, or you can just align them. But either way, what I want to do is I want to have a 1 inch, this is size, so that you have a 1 inch border all the way around. So I just abut these 2 pages like so, hold it down, and then I put my spacer right on top so that it aligns with one of the corners. Okay, then I'm going to hold my spacer down like this, and I'm going to pick up my chipboard piece, and I'm going to go ahead and lay that down just like so. Okay, and then I'm going to burnish it, and I'm going to end up with a chipboard piece that has a 1 inch border all the way around, just like this. So then once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and burnish all of my edges really well. And this is similar to the lay flat method, except that we don't have an actual spine in this case because we're using the ring binding. So I'm going to go ahead and burnish all of these pieces here, just like that. I like to press onto the back side of my cardstock so that I get a nice tight edge up to the chipboard itself. Okay, and then with both of these, we're going to go ahead and cut out the corners. You're going to cut out those square corners just like that. So let's do that on all 4 corners. Okay, one more. And just like that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and place glue, or you can use your score tape if you like score tape. Okay, now that we have that nice and burnished, I'm going to go ahead and take off the score tape backing and make sure that I wrap this chipboard piece around, or this cardstock around, and press it down. And I want to make sure to get my backing off on all of these. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and press the cardstock and wrap it around. I'm just pressing the cardstock up against my chipboard piece, and then I will wrap it over. Okay, and burnish it down. One more side. And just like this, you have a full 12 by 12 size album, so you can do full-size layouts. At least in height, right? Because we made it 10 by 12. If you want to make it 12 by 12, you can do the same thing by using, multiple sheets of cardstock. But the reason I made this 10 by 12 is just to better fit the file folders. Okay, so 2 sheets, front and back cover. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and figure out where do we want our holes to be punched. So figure out what I did is I measured every 2 inches up and made a mark. And that way I ended up with, multiple holes on my album cover. And then I went ahead and used my Crop-A-Dile and ordered the larger circle in order to punch holes in the chipboard. And then I used that front chipboard as a pattern, because after it had holes in it, then I would abut it to the next one and go ahead and make sure to line it up. Okay, you can line it up like this, so that you can see the edges. Hold on to the page, turn it over, and go ahead with your holes. Okay, so let me do that really quick. I did 5 holes. Okay. You can also make sure to use your guide on your Crop-A-Dile. That will help you have a consistent depth if you don't want to just eyeball it. So there I have the 5 holes. So you can see now I'm going to align where I want my actual file folder to be. So I'm just lining it up so that I have an even space on the top and the bottom. I'll just pinch it real well, turn it over, and then I'll use my pencil and go ahead and make circles through my pattern onto the file folder. And once I have that, then I can go ahead and punch those circles out. And just keep doing that with all of your pages, and that's how you get your pages to align. And you'll do the same thing with your pattern paper once you cut your pattern paper and align it. So now I have this that I'll be able to actually put through. And then I'll open up one of my binder rings here, and I can start assembling. Just like that. Okay, once you have all of them together. And then it's just a matter of decorating. So I hope that you have enjoyed this fun little tutorial, and I hope you make one soon. I'm going to move on and make a little mini one. I don't know if you noticed, but this is a little teeny tiny one, so I can make it in any size. I also went ahead and pulled out from my stash one of my dies that I had purchased from Country Craft Creation quite a while ago. And it's one of the Graphic 45 dies, and it is this file folder die. So I am making a little mini version of this same album using some different paper that I have from my stash, but I'm going to use this same thing and make another little mini album. I hope to see some projects of yours made soon. Until next time, everyone, happy crafting you all. Bye.